The woman who had 6 dogs die under her care last year after leaving them in the back of a hot vehicle is expected to be sentenced today. Greg Harper joins us live from Surrey Provincial Court with more. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. Yes, a judge is expected to make a decision today on what punishment Emma Polson will receive. 6 dogs died while in her care. This was back in May of last year. Originally, Polson made up a story that the dogs were stolen from her vehicle while it was parked at Brookswood Park in Langley. But it turns out the dogs died from heat exhaustion and their bodies were dumped into a ditch in Abbotsford. Polson has pleaded guilty to 1 count of animal cruelty and public mischief. She did this in the fall. The Crown wants her to serve up to 1 year in jail with a fine of up to $10,000 and a 10-year ban on owning or living with an animal. The defense has argued that she didn't intend to hurt the animals and that the judge should take that into consideration. Will she receive any jail time? That's the big question here. The Crown is asking for that, and there are many animal lovers that are hoping she does that as well. We'll see what happens. Jody?
Indeed, many staying tuned for that sentencing. Thanks so much. Greg Harper reporting live from Surrey this morning. We have good news for homeowners. Mortgages will cost a little less starting today. Canada's big banks are passing some of the Bank of Canada's recent rate cut on to consumers by lowering the interest charged to borrowers with loans and mortgages tied to the prime rate. The Royal Bank was the first to cut its prime rate when it announced it would trim its rate less than a quarter of a point down to 2.85%. That move was quickly matched by the rest of the Big Five. All rate cuts will take effect today. National Bank's adjustment kicks in tomorrow. Police are investigating a serious multi-vehicle accident in Surrey that has shut down a major route. Fraser Highway is closed in both directions at 144th Street after 2 vehicles collided head-on late last night. One of them caught fire while the other went into the ditch with someone trapped inside. Firefighters used the jaws of life to get that person out. Among the victims are a man and a young boy. Both were taken to hospital in critical condition. The area remains closed with detours in place while police investigate. Meanwhile, Vancouver police are investigating after a vehicle crashed into a home at Knight Street and East 47th Avenue overnight. It appears no one in the home was hurt, but the driver was taken away by ambulance. There's no word yet if alcohol or speed were factors in this crash. How to sell the yes vote in the upcoming transit referendum? That was the focus surrounding a meeting put on by the Metro Vancouver Alliance last night. Nearly 60 people packed a gym in New Westminster to highlight the benefits of voting in favor of the 0.5% sales tax increase to improve transportation in our region. Many argue better transit is needed for the growing population, the aging population, and the ongoing efforts to reduce pollution.
I think it's critical for the livability and the economy of our region that we make investments into our transportation system and our public transit.
Meantime, the mayor of West Vancouver has come out swinging against the proposed transit tax for Metro Vancouver. He says the government does not have the right to ask citizens to pay more in taxes unless it can assure them their money will be well spent. The family member of a victim whose DNA was found on Robert Picton, that is, Port Coquitlam Pig Farm in 2003, wants the BC Coroner's Service to re-examine the remains. The family, who has not yet been identified, is also calling for a new murder charge to be laid. There are suggestions an oversight was made when the remains were placed in RCMP storage until 2010 and then transferred to the coroner. The family also claims it was contacted by the coroner last August and made aware of the situation. We're expecting more details from a news conference slated for this morning. Picton was originally charged with killing 26 women, most from the downtown east side. It is a nightmare scenario for a Maple Ridge couple who used a surrogacy clinic in Mexico. They're stranded in the country trying to get their newborn twins, who were born prematurely, back home for treatment.
It's up and down every day. Some days you get, they're doing better, and then some days they're back down to critical.
Aiden and Ariana are in intensive care at a Mexican hospital. They were born at 31 weeks on January 8th, weighing just 3 pounds each. Both are on respirators and have had numerous complications. Greg and Elaine Smith's family say the couple is facing mounting medical bills and can't get their babies home because of red tape in issuing their birth certificates.
We really want to get these babies home. We want them, the whole family here, and we want them healthy they need the support of their family and their friends and everybody around them, and the best way to do that is to have them here. So we need to get these babies home.
Greg and Elaine Smith's family has set up a crowdfunding site. They're hoping to raise $50,000 to help pay for the baby's medical bills. They also welcome any advice to get the babies home as soon as possible. 6:36. Let's talk some sports. Canada's Milos Raonic lost his chance to play at a second Grand Slam semifinal today. 8th seed from Ontario has been eliminated from the Australian Open. He fell to the top-ranked Novak Djokovic of Serbia, 7-6, 6-4, 6-2. Raonic was the 2014 Wimbledon semifinalist, and he ended with a modest 14 aces in the 2-hour match. Djokovic will next face defending champ Stan Wawrinka in one semifinal, while Andy Murray and Thomas Berdych play in the other. NHL All-Star break over. Someone should probably tell the Vancouver Canucks that, though.
And Hughes trying to hold the puck in, but Kessler brings it up. Steps around Higgins. Finds Lindholm, who defers to Bolesky. Long shot, scores! Off the glove of Miller and in.
Little bit of a softie. Not exactly setting the tone at Rogers Arena last night. Canucks only managed 17 shots against the Ducks, while Anaheim beat Ryan Miller twice more, also scoring an empty netter. Ducks win 4-0. Canucks shut out in a second straight home game. Hopefully they can get something going on Friday night against the Sabres.
To get in the playoffs, you got to compete hard. Like, there's going to be a level of compete that it's expected, and I think we have more compete in us. I didn't think we played as our best that way. You said they're a good team. They are a good team, and they beat us tonight.